Most people aren't failing at affiliate marketing. They're just too afraid to start. Hey guys, it's Bob Ferngren, and I'm back with another 8-minute call. And for the last, I would say, 20 or so videos, I've been talking about sales and selling and wealth creation and getting your family out of the ditch and get away from being average. We all know average is overweight, has chronic illness, and is deeply in debt. So those are things you want to avoid. But things that can help you get out of that is having the right mindset towards starting a business. And again, I promote online businesses. I promote helping people get out of debt. I promote people changing their mindset and helping them get breakthroughs. So if most people are afraid just to start, is that even real? Well, let me tell you about myself. I'm the former president of several large national restaurant chains. And, I eventually went the entrepreneurial route and had bricks and mortar businesses. I owned a chain of restaurants in Miami. I had various ownership levels in hotels. I had a hospitality management company. All of them failed. And I was introduced to, at that time, it was called network marketing. Not sure what its name is today, but network marketing, multi-level marketing, but it was basically selling. And this is just before, the whole online revolution took place. So I'm in it for a couple of years. And of course, I'm hard-headed. I had these big jobs. So I thought, well, I'll just tell people what to do and they'll do it. And that doesn't really work. You have to role model. You have to be sold out. You have to believe in what you're doing. A lot of different things that cause, any business to take off, but certainly as the owner of that business. So then, I go through the school of hard knocks, do everything wrong, mastered wrong. No, I got a PhD in wrong. And boom, this light goes on off over my head. This internet thing is cool. So at any given time, if I figure out this internet thing, I have the ability to reach hundreds, thousands, millions of people if I figure out this internet thing. So I figure out the internet thing, which caused my belief to really grow, which is a big, big, big deal in anything. I'm currently in the process of manifesting some really big things right now. So I'm working on belief again. And so I go through this whole process, and what I figure out is that the mistakes I was making were all based on fear. The mistakes I was making were, there were self-esteem issues and stuff. And so I was not in a state of flow. I was in a state of fear. Okay, I'm going to do this even though I don't know, what will people think of me? I'm going to do this and I'm not really sure if it'll work. I'm going to do this and what if this company isn't as good? I'm going to do, you know what I mean? All the things that people get in their head and start thinking about. So that's why I was struggling. And so when I realized, well, this is just in my brain. This isn't reality. There were people making hundreds of thousands of dollars and some people making millions of dollars in my industry. And I'm not stupid. If they could do it, I could do it. And so I changed my whole mindset to one of, I'm not going to be afraid. What's there to be afraid of? The Bible talks about being, don't be afraid and be courageous. In many, many places. What's to fear? Do not worry. Jesus himself said, do not worry. So why did I care what people thought? And suddenly things started to click. And, I created systems around that. I created, this mindset of being successful. And here's what I did, guys. And this will help you. So in any business, when you start out, you don't go from zero to millions or billions. You are building your way there. And so I had a number of processes. One, to just every morning confront those fears. I didn't confront the fears. What I talked about are things like, I am blessed. I'm a blessing to all the peoples of the world. Those are things right out of the Bible, because I believe that. I'm highly favored. God will bless those who bless me, and he's going to curse those who curse me. These are Bible verses, and so I would tell myself these things day after day. So I was not only writing down beliefs about myself, positive beliefs that had yet to manifest in real life, but I was also rejecting. So I wouldn't talk about fear to myself. I would talk about success, and I would talk in a way that I was already there. And one of the things was on the money side. So, you start out, and I was making about $1,000 a month initially. And I started telling everybody I was going to make $2,000 a month. Nobody really cared or paid attention. When I was making $2,000 a month, I started telling everybody I was going to make $5,000 a month. When I was making $5,000 a month, I started telling everyone I was going to make $10,000 a month. When I was making $10,000 a month, I started telling everyone. And again, there's more to it. There's obviously action, but I had a morning routine that was killer. I literally was speaking of things that weren't as though they were. I knew what I was going to do with the money. I ramped my giving to 20% of my gross income. But when I was making $20,000 a month, I started telling everyone I was going to make $50,000 a month. When I was making $50,000 a month, I started telling everyone I was going to make $100,000 a month. When I was making $100,000 a month, I started telling everyone I was going to make $150,000 a month. By now, most of the harsh naysayers had run away from me. It was too unbelievable. They didn't like me. They were proven wrong, which is wonderful to get negative people. By the way, I spent a lot of time cleaning out the negative people. And, when you start surrounding yourself with positive people, there aren't that many. So I had significantly less people I was interacting, but I was attracting positive people. So it was kind of making up for the losses of the negative people. When I was making $150,000 a month, I started telling everyone I was going to make $200,000 a month. I ended up making more than that, but then the company changed. And I remember a conversation I had with an executive vice president at that particular company. He goes, "Bob, how are you having this success?" I go, "It's belief. I've confronted my fears. I'm marching forward. Of course I'm taking action, and I'm, when you're moving in belief and positivity and action, things are going to be put in front of you. People are going to be put in front of you. Things begin to conspire on your behalf." So I tell them all this, and then I'm telling everyone that, that same thing I just told you. When I'm making $5,000, I'm going to make $10,000. And I told him this whole story. He goes, you really shouldn't do that anymore. That could get you in trouble. And yet, this whole business I was in was based on helping other people. And here comes one of the top people in this company being a negative person, being stealing my joy, my peace, my happiness, and everything that I was working on. That company started telling not just me, but other successful people, don't do it. And because they were afraid, they operated in fear of man, fear of government. And those were all lies. I was working with one of the most honest and integrable companies that ever existed. Really, truthfully. I can say that honestly. I am more proud of that. Now, I'm not proud of the ownership. They sold us out. But so my whole point was that when I was in that state of flow and belief, which had originally, remember where it started, in fear. I was doing things wrong because I was afraid to speak like I'm speaking now. And so I'm going to talk more about this particular subject because I can't think of anything that screws people up more than the fears they have. The fear of success, the fear of failure. And they're made up. They're not real. Here's what you do. I heard this a long time ago. People, are nervous or worried or anxious, are you aware those create the same effects in your body as being really excited? Remember the last time you were really excited about something? So I flipped all that crap into being really excited. And I'm really excited. I hope you're really excited. God bless you. Have a great day. And my back porch is ringing at me. Have a great day.